is still an avenue if South Africa win. Nigeria has to win by 4 goals or more and then hope other results go their way. But it's, yeah, it's going to be a difficult one.
Well, Nigeria have it all to do, really. But stranger things have happened, and strange things tend to happen on the final day of these qualifying tournaments. Ademola Lookman suspended, a big loss, but Akor Adams showed that he is ready for this level and to answer his country's call. Great goal against Lesotho after William Trostekong put Nigeria in front from the penalty spot. And here's a chance maybe for Victor Osimhen, and he's taken it. What a start for Nigeria, and it's their star man who has got the goal. Osimhen scoring inside 3 minutes. Well, Benin have the best defence in the group, but they have made a bad error there. Wide open, and Osimhen taking advantage. Just the start that Nigeria dreamed of. A long way to go yet. Mounier felt that Benin could come here and win, but Nigeria have a great record against the visitors. That victory for Benin earlier in the group, their first ever against the Super Eagles. Nigeria were ahead back then. Seems a long time ago. June 2024, they led through Raphael Onyedika's goal in Abidjan. Jodel Dussou and Mounier getting the goals that got Benin a crucial win, and that was pointed out in the pre-game press conference that, as Mounier said, Benin were the only team to beat Nigeria so far in this group. As unconvincing as Nigeria have been at times, too many draws, only Benin have got the better of them. A reminder, Sporty TV is on YouTube and the linear channels, available via StarTimes TTT channel 258, DTH channel 190, and the OTT StarTimes ON in Nigeria. Quick shot of the as it stands table, and as things stand, it's very tight. Nigeria would be level with Benin on points. All sorts of permutations to think about, and we will keep you up to date as well with that game, a crucial game between South Africa and Rwanda, scoreless at the moment. Calvin Bassey on the ball for Nigeria. The goal coming out of nowhere and really giving the home team a lift. Bit of pressure back on Benin now for sure.
And well, for Nigeria, this is, I think, the perfect
scenario. Go 1 goal up and try and hold on to this lead, because, well, at the moment they're heading to what could be a World Cup qualification, but they need to score another goal, and, well, for Nigeria, that is the key. They have to score that second goal. They can't delay this any longer.
Well, in a way, Nigeria are freed up, because they know what they have to do. They have to keep pushing and keep trying to add to this lead. And South Africa playing Rwanda in Mbombela. Right now, they really slipped up on Friday. They should have been in a much better position. They could only draw against Zimbabwe, who are going to finish as the bottom team in this group. Lesotho, well, they could finish ahead of Rwanda in the end. They got a 1-0 win against Zimbabwe yesterday. Benin have not got going in attack. And that's good news for Nigeria, of course, but bad news coming in now, because South Africa have got an early goal. Talent Mbata has them in front, and at the moment South Africa in the live standings top the table.
and not what Nigeria wanted, Mark. I mean, you look at the start that they had, the dream start, the goal from Osimhen, and, well, South Africa getting that goal after, well, what was a difficult game for them last week. And, well, I imagine there's someone in that coaching staff keeping an eye on this South Africa result, but they're going to hope that Rwanda can get back into this game.
Benin threatening, but finding Zaidu Sanusi in good form, coming into the team today, the Porto player. And of course, that time was Cedric Ntonji. Sanusi's throw in dealt with by Ntonji. We got some help as well. It'll be as he gets to the World Cup. He had a cruciate ligament injury in February of last year, right after returning from the Africa Cup of Nations. Of course, Nigeria do have the AFCON to look forward to, along with Benin. And these two are neighbours, of course, so a bit of extra spice to this one, as if it were needed. And Gurno Roar as well. His first match in charge of Nigeria back in September 2016, dismissed in December 2021. 55 games he was overseeing the Super Eagles for.
Nigeria will be hoping for to avoid a repeat of their result against Benin in the summer with the 2-1 loss, their only loss of the campaign so far. Well, it's been a perfect start, but they need to hope Rwanda can get a goal back against South Africa.
Yeah, lot to be decided in terms of the playoff position as well. Whether those 4 teams emerge and get a second chance. Nigeria hoping to be one of them. Strangely, of course, Nigeria have played Benin twice since they last met in World Cup qualifying. 3-0 win in September of last year, followed by a 1-1 draw in November. There is Gernot. Well, he was saying the right things in the pre-game press conference, pointing out that Benin have played every game away from home in this qualifying group, so this one is no different, because no stadium in Benin is approved by the African Confederation, so they've been playing at Abidjan in the Côte d'Ivoire. Low ball across, and that's hesitation in the Nigerian defence, and a good chance in the end for Steve Mounier. Stanley Nobali will be thankful that the shot was pretty much straight at him.
And he's got a lot to prove today, Wabali, after a dodgy performance in the last 5 or 10 minutes against Lesotho and almost causing the equaliser for Lesotho. And I think he's got a lot of pressure on his shoulders this afternoon.
Pressure. Coming again, but Bassi dealing with that cross. Nigerian fans don't need reminding about that last little spell against Lesotho. Remarkable seeing Osimhen, who was subbed off at the time, really going after 1 or 2 players. He was disgusted with what he witnessed on the bench. And he said afterwards as well, Nigeria have been playing below the levels they're capable of producing. So in his eyes, Benin were favourites to win this game.
And he's not wrong, Mark. Nigeria, with the quality of players that they have, they should be doing a lot better. They should be already qualified for the World Cup. They should be sitting back and relaxing in this game. But no, they've got to prove themselves on the last match day of this qualification process, because with Osimhen, with obviously Lukman unavailable today, but the players that they have at their disposal, they should be doing a lot better than they have done.
South Africa not being docked 3 points for fielding an ineligible player in a win over Lesotho. Nigeria would already be out of contention. There's Alex Iwobi. Osimhen gets a good pass. Adams, his pass not getting through. 27th goal for Victor Osimhen in 44 appearances for Nigeria. After 3 minutes of this game, one of the most important that he scored. Benjamin Frederick stepping in. Benin win it back though. Ntonji is one of their key players and causing problems to Frederick on that side. Corner for Benin.
Almost a bit of a wake-up call, the first goal for Benin, as they seem to have started to put some pressure back on that Nigerian defence, with Frederick having to do some work on this right-hand side. And, well, they'll want to make the most of this corner, as you would feel like Nigeria will be dominating possession as the game goes forward.
Kigali commands his area well. Reminder, you can play the Sporty Jet mini game on Sporty Bet today. Remember to bet responsibly. This game brought to you by Sporty Bet live in Nigeria. Stay tuned for the Sporty Hero of the Match Ball. That'll be posted in the 75th minute. Sporty TV app, the only place to get all of Sporty TV on the go, including the English Premier League and La Liga matches. The Women's Champions League coming up. On Wednesday it's PSG against Real Madrid. Roma against Barcelona on Thursday. Chance to support some of your Super Falcons, the African champions. Actually, that's Abajade and Jennifer Echegini at PSG, and Sola Babajide at Roma.
And it's been a cracking start for the Women's Champions League. A few upsets along the way. Arsenal losing, dropping points. Chelsea dropping points. Hopefully not the same for Nigeria today.
No, that would be a disaster. Tosin Ayagun has the ball and has support as well. Samimu Uwaru playing it back. Three waiting for a cross, which is poor. Their goal after 80 minutes in Kigali on Friday. Did Benin. Crucial 1-0 victory. That put them in control of this group, and it was the number 10, Ayugun, who got it. And he is Nigerian born.
It's a rather comfortable start for Nigeria so far, Mark. They haven't been pressured too much in defence, but HL want to see more from his attacking players, as we all know the capability that they have, and I feel like a bit of a broken record saying it, but with Osimhen and Iwobi and the likes of Chukwueze up front, they've got to be doing better.
Well, Osimhen was offside on that occasion. Interesting that Eric Schell said it was the most important game of his coaching career. And everyone asking about the miracle that Nigeria need to go through in top spot. Well, he reckons football gives you miracles if you work hard enough. This is his 12th match in charge. Took over midway through the campaign after 4 disappointing results, 3 draws and that defeat against Benin. But he's had a couple of shaky results and performances as well. Look at the 1-1 draw against Zimbabwe back in March. His job, bringing a positive mindset and to relax the players. That's the way that Shell build it ahead of this game. That's great footwork from Alex Iwobi. Chukwueze helping it on first time, but Sanusi unable to retrieve it.
And these are the sort of glimpses of play that Eric Schell will want to see, but hardly enough of these nice passing moves.
Well, this is better. Osimhen waiting for the cross. It's over his head. Nowhere near him. Chukwueze, better ball in. Osimhen is challenging and winning the header above Ntonji. That's the type of passion you want to see.
It's a lot better from Nigeria going forward and finding Osimhen. We know the danger that he has in the box and the aerial prowess that he possesses. We've seen him at Napoli and at Galatasaray do so well in those areas, and a brilliant ball into the box. from Chukwueze.
Well, Benin had won their last 3 matches against Zimbabwe, Lesotho and Rwanda without conceding a goal, so that early opener, it goes without saying really, it was crucial for both teams. And interestingly as well, Benin's only 2 defeats came against South Africa, so a draw would not be enough if South Africa can make up the goal difference. 2-goal win for the Bafana against Rwanda, and they really are in a strong position. A reminder, they lead by 1-0 right now. Nigeria leading against Benin. So midway through the first half, as things stand, South Africa are top of the group.
Still plenty of time for Nigeria to turn this around and, well, get the second goal and hope that Rwanda can equalise, but it's not looking good as things stand for the Super Eagles and Eric Chell, but they've just got to concentrate on what they've got to do, win this game by at least 2 goals and hope that Rwanda can pull off a draw or even a win.
Nigeria had a pretty tough game against Rwanda in September. Just the 1 goal from Tolu deciding that one in Uyo. That was good play initially from Mounier. Play 2 from Moses Simon, but he's been penalised and he's smiling, but not happy with that decision.
Feels like it could have gone either way, that one, Mark. I think maybe a little bit of a soft foul, but you can understand why Moses Simon isn't too happy with that decision from the referee.
6 yellow shirts across the area. And hit towards the furthest one. Navali is having a word here with Mohamed Tijani. Didn't like the way the Benin defender went into that challenge. Mounier sticking the ball in the net just in case.
Bit of gamesmanship going on here from Benin. I mean, Wabali obviously not very happy with his opposition there, as he quite a stern face towards him after the catch.
Chukwueze. This is promising. It's a good tackle there. He's appealing for handball. Now Osimhen's down. Akor Adams it was who had the shot blocked.
Brilliant opportunity there for Nigeria, and so no look in from the referee and a possible penalty. Osimhen's claiming he was brought down, I think, and obviously no VAR here, so we won't see the referee go back and have a look at this one.
Wolby has lost it in midfield. Benin will be at the Africa Cup of Nations as well. quarter-finalists back in 2019. We have the DRC, Botswana and Senegal to come in Morocco in December. No one thinking about that right now as Frederick looks up on Hassan Imoran. David Kiki. That's an impressive long throw. Chukwueze gets it to safety for Nigeria. Frederick playing in Belgium this season with Dender, on loan from Brentford, doing well. Kwesi started this game quite well too. Mounier holding off Ndidi, the captain on the day, in place of William Trostekong. Kiki, the chance to cross. Mounier the target. Doku. Dan Aurora said that Benin would be playing for a win, but they'd be patient as well, knowing that only a victory will do for Nigeria. Now, there's been another goal. Bad news for both these teams, because South Africa have gone 2-0 up against Rwanda. Apolis has got the second goal after 26 minutes, and now a chance for Benin. The offside flag stayed down. The shot was into the side net, but the visitors have a corner. It was Muntonji who had the chance.
The Nigerian defence caught lacking there. They've got to be more attentive to those runs, because if they switch off for just a moment, as we saw against Lesotho, it can all change within a matter of seconds. And yes, South Africa are 2-0 up. They've still got to concentrate on getting this victory themselves, Nigeria, and getting more goals.
Corner comes in, well directed, and well attacked as well, but Nigeria doing enough to make sure that Mounier's header wasn't a clear one. He's playing in Turkey right now with Alanyaspor, on loan from the German side Augsburg for the season. "22 goals at international level in 66 caps. So the home side have to be very wary of Benin's number 9. Kiki's pass intercepted. Iwobi. Simon. Playing with Paris FC these days in the French top flight. His cross blocked away as far as Imoran. He plays in Switzerland.
It's just not quite falling for Nigeria in the final third. The balls aren't quite reaching their targets, and there seems to be a real lack of ideas going forward with linking up with their teammates. Moses Simon there with a cross that didn't really have an end goal, it didn't feel like, and Osimhen does feel like he's a little bit isolated up top with Aker Adams.
Good pressure applied there by Chukwueze, but Benin get the throw in. getting ready to make their 5th appearance at the Africa Cup of Nations. Hoping to get to their very first World Cup. And space for Mounier, supports on the right. Good overlap here. Oh, back heel wasn't bad, the shot goes in. It will be a goal kick. Benin claiming a corner. Had the final pass here been a little bit better, it could have spelled real trouble for Nigeria.
Again, the Super Eagles defence caught lacking and having to chase back. You can see Sanusi and Bassi shouting at Sanusi to track his runner, and Benin almost getting back into the game here. But as you say, Mark, the pass and maybe the control as well, not quite up to scratch.
That was Tosin with the shot in the end. His pass initially was for Owaru. Chukwueze gets a bit of an unusual pass back there from Adams. The referee is going to hold things up here, perhaps a head injury, so he has no choice in that case.
Eric Cho will be hoping this is nothing serious, as well, as we said earlier, Lookman unavailable for today after his booking against Lesotho. Olaraina with his injury that he picked up against South Africa, and Iwobi, who, well, is one of the key men for Nigeria, and you have to say, a head injury, it's always a worrying sign when a player goes down like that.
The forceful challenge there from Doku. He's playing in the Portuguese lower divisions with Leixões. Alex Iwobi of Fulham, earning his 89th cap for the 3-time African champions. Looks like he'll be good to go. Lots more action to come on Sporty TV this week. Saudi Pro League on Friday, Al Ettifaq against Al Hilal. Euroleague basketball the same day. On Saturday, it's Brighton against Newcastle from the English Premier League. Bayern Munich against Borussia Dortmund in the Klassiker from the Bundesliga on Saturday evening. NFL Africa is on late on Saturday. And AC Milan against Fiorentina from Italy is on Sunday. Nigeria have a corner here. Marcel Danjinu has the ball in his hands, but he'll have to give it up reluctantly.
Nigeria have got to use opportunities like this to, well, they've got to make the most of set pieces. We heard Thomas Frank in the week talking about them being gold, and well, 33% of goals coming from them. And, you know, the Premier League, it's used quite a lot, and these players are some big players in that defence and attack for Nigeria.
Well, poor corner. Live odds on Sporty Bet: Nigeria to win 1.22, the draw 5.60. Well, Chukwueze was calling for the ball to be played exactly where it was played to, and then he missed his kick. Benin to win 15.50 on Sporty Bet right now. Bet responsibly, and only if you're over 18.
It was the perfectly weighted pass there to Chukwueze, but he couldn't quite get the shot off, and well, frustrating for him and Eric Chellas. That would have been a perfect opportunity to get a shot on target and test Danjinu in the goal, in the Benin goal.
If you are just joining us, Nigeria leading through an early goal from Victor Osimhen. They need to win to have any chance of making the World Cup finals next year. Osimhen! He's on a hat-trick. And the Super Eagles are flying in Uyo.
He comes off again, doesn't he, Mark? Superman. He flies above the defence and gets that header. A fantastic piece of attacking and a lovely cross in from Nigeria. And Osimhen getting himself on the end of it. It is 2-0. Nigeria's goals back against South Africa. But what a finish and what a header from Victor Osimhen.
Well, Bedlam at the Godswill. International Stadium, the crowd going absolutely wild here. What a cross it was from Chukwueze, but a towering header from Osimhen. That's how you do it. That was great service and a great finish from a great striker. Sure what Benin are complaining about there, to be honest.
You're right, they've only got themselves to blame for that one, Mark. Benin, poor marking. They have to know the prowess that Victor Osimhen has up front with the ball, and when it's in the air, there are not many better strikers at finding the back of the net than Victor Osimhen.
As most people will be aware, as you mentioned earlier, no VAR, so no chance of this goal being chalked off for Nigeria. Looking for Calvin Bassey's shirt in the crowd. I think plenty will be looking for Osimhen's. Maybe getting his name printed on the back of the jersey that they do have. 2-goal advantage for Nigeria. That means that they are ahead of Benin for now. I wouldn't be surprised if Waru did get hurt in that challenge. He was eaten up by Victor Osimhen, but it certainly wasn't a foul.
No, it was the perfect header, Mark. A lovely jump above the defence. It almost reminiscent of Cristiano Ronaldo of old when he used to hang in the air for a couple of seconds. It was a fantastic header from Victor Osimhen.
And on the day, it is a fantastic position for Nigeria to be in. They will have regrets about earlier in the group, but they are doing what is required, giving themselves every chance. And there you have it. Because of that second goal, they're now ahead of Benin, level on points, and ahead of the visitors in second position. Moses Simon looking for the head of Osimhen again. test for Benin right now. Has plenty of time. Benin have it back. A goal before half-time would certainly be a big lift for them. Ghana saying it's remarkable that they came into this game seeing South Africa and Nigeria behind them in the standings, but he also warned everything could change in the final game. His side were staying humble. He knew more than anyone as a former Nigeria boss that this match was going to be a lot more difficult than the one against Rwanda on Friday.
And you have to say, Mark, that Ghana will be really disappointed with how this side have started today. 41, just over 41 minutes in, and they've looked very lacklustre at the back, and going forward they haven't been able to put much pressure on Wabali in the Nigeria goals. We know he is prone to errors, as we saw against Lesotho.
Sent out towards Kiki, but Frederick is there for Nigeria. Chukwueze was pulled back, and first yellow card of the game goes to Mounier. Didn't really need to make that challenge, the Benin skipper.
A clear foul there from Mounier. I mean, like you said, Mark, not going anywhere, not in danger of troubling the defence. Pulled him back, I guess a professional foul in this sense, but Munoz should know better. A player of his experience, he is going to go into the book for a challenge like that.
Osimhen wants a corner, not able to convince the officials that time. Osimhen said he couldn't promise the fans much because of the way that Nigeria had been playing up until this game, but he did promise the fans that they will fight until the very end. He's not been happy with how the team have been representing the country. This is much more like it. Osimhen leading the way today. Worth remembering as well that Nigeria had some difficulties preparing for this one. They had to make an emergency landing in Luanda, Angola, on their way back from South Africa to Nigeria on Sunday. A crack in the windshield after an initial scheduled refueling stop in Angola. Pre-game, William Trusty Kong saying that there was a lot of time spent catching up on sleep due to that flight disruption.
It hasn't been an easy 2025 for Nigeria in terms of travelling. I think back to, well, the last year where they had to play Libya and they were stuck in the airport for almost 24 hours, I believe it was. No way out. And then the windshield being struck, it's obviously all excuses that Eric Chell will not use for their poor performances, but it can't have made things easier when it comes to preparation.
Chukwueze is okay to continue. He's joined the Nigerian contingent at Fulham this season, on loan from AC Milan. We have 5 minutes of stoppage time in the first half. Kiki with the long throw once more. Foul by Mounier, backing in and holding on as he did so. Semi Ajayi coming into the side today. He's doing fine back there alongside Calvin Bassey at centre-back. Just that one chance for Mounier. A shot on target after 13 minutes, really. A major scare for Nigeria.
You have to say, largely, Eric Chell will be very happy with his first half performance, but he'll want a goal or two more just to put things to bed and not have to worry about Benin making a comeback.
Tunji is trying to help them get back in the game. A couple of good crosses from the left wing. Number 17 playing in the German Bundesliga with St. Pauli this season. There's Simon. Osimhen making something of his cross. The keeper is coming to claim it. Well protected by his defence there as well. Of course, Alex, playing to Nigeria's advantage as well is the fact that Benin will be informed of the half-time score. South Africa still leading by 2-0 against Rwanda, so they'll need at least 2 goals to get second position in the group, 3 to win it.
You would hope, like you say, Mark, maybe that will open things up more for Nigeria in this second half, because so far, other than the 2 goals, you would have to say that Nigeria haven't tested the Benin goal an awful lot, and Eric Chell will want to see more, although he'll be pleased with how things have gone. He knows that this team can do better and are capable of producing a lot more when it comes to chances on goal.
Well, this game brought to you by SportyBet, live in Nigeria, and there's a one-up feature on SportyBet these days. If your team goes up by 1 goal at any point during the game, you win. Bet responsibly only if you're over 18. The Sporty TV app is available on iPhone and Android. The only place to get all of Sporty TV on the go, including the Premier League in England and La Liga in Spain.
Bad news here for Nigeria's Sanusi down. Looks like he's in quite a bit of pain here. It looks like definitely he's at the back of his ankle trodden on by Oworu. Very painful.